Good evening everyone, welcome to Vanguard Tactics. I'm Stephen Box, and if you're interested in Warhammer 40k then you're in the right place, because every single day at 6 o'clock, or roughly 6 o'clock, I go live to answer your questions. Now I'm a little bit later than normal today because I've just had a full day of filming in the studio. We've got some quality content coming out for you guys, which I'm really excited about. We filmed a battle report today with the Tau versus Drakari, so that'll be a new competitive ITC 2000 point battle report coming out. I just now have to stare down the barrel of about 30 hours of editing, but no doubt it will be well worth it. So, with the new setup here, we've got absolutely fantastic playtest with some of the new terrain that I've launched, which is coming out at the start of next month. So that was good, looking at some of the new designs for the coming series of terrain as well. Still planning on running the VT-GT, so that'll be exciting when that comes out. So just kind of getting together mats in how much terrain we're going to need and all those sorts of things, so lots of planning going on behind the scenes. And I would love to see as many of you guys who are watching this as possible, coming to that GT. So that'll be absolutely fantastic if you guys can make it down. Still been working on the Harlequins, which is great. Loving how the army's looking now. I've got like literally a multicolored fruit army, basically is what it looks like now. And then I started working on the Joe's been working on my Ultramarines. He's been putting all the transfers on them, so they're going to be ready for next week's battle report, where we do Ultramarines versus some sort of army, maybe Mech Eldar perhaps, could do that. So yeah, lots of stuff coming up for you guys. So if you've got any 40k related questions whatsoever, then please pop them in the chat. So I'll quickly jump over there now. Henrik, Jack, Luke, how you guys doing? John, Arky, Reptiles, Wayne, Neo Cow, John, how you guys doing? Waz, Antti, Scott, Stephen Halsey, Highland Phoenix. So yeah, guys, let me know where you're from as well. I'd love to know. Just say hello, where you're from. I'm loving, how the community's built up over the last 58 days. It's been 59 days now. It's going to be 60 tomorrow. We've got the big FAQ coming out on Saturday. Now, unfortunately, myself and Jack are probably going to do our predictions. We're going to do that tomorrow, and then we'll do an actual review on Saturday. So that'll be interesting to see what goes down. Jack had to shoot off in kind of beat traffic and get home, so it wasn't too late for him. He has a very early start to get down here for work today. So all coming on though. So, Waz has said, so from among the top ITC players in the UK, currently, which three people do you enjoy playing against the most? Wow. That's a tough question. Who do I love playing against the most? There are so many people that I've had quality games against. It's tough. There are so many that I've had incredible games against. It's really, really hard. But I'll start naming a few. We've got, who have I always enjoyed? Kyle Grundy plays Tau. We've had some quality games over the years. Me and Mark Crumbleholm always had a great laugh when we play. Who else? We've just had a right laugh every single time. I've played people once, but it's the people that you play time and time again that I've always had a wicked game against. Remembering back when I played Dan Bates from Glasshammer, we had an absolutely fantastic, hilarious game. That was really good. Who else? I mean, there are literally so many. Like, for example, there's great players I know, but I haven't actually played them at the table. Obviously, all the VT guys are fantastic. Like me and Ben Jones always have a quality game. Me and Jack always have a good game. It's just so many, and I've probably forgotten loads of people as well. So, yeah. Here we go. Brian said, when are we going to actually play a game together? Mate, whenever you get over to the UK and the VT studio, we're playing. You know it. Every day. Scott said, hi from Wisconsin. Nice. Haven't had anyone from Wisconsin before. Hopefully I pronounced that correct. Sunny Colchester. John, I used to live in Colchester for a year. That's where I did my teacher training, actually, was at a school in, what was it called? Near Colchester, anyway. Basically, I was a trainee teacher at Tendring Technology College. So I lived in Colchester. Jacob said, southwest of England. How you doing, Jacob? Whereabouts in the southwest? Because I'm in the southwest as well. I'm in Warminster. Okay, here we go. Proxy or modelling units. Use them in competition. Main thing to look out for. Not sure. I need more to that question, okay? Proxy or modifying units. Use them in competition. Main thing to look out for. Yeah, I need more context to that question, please. Ricardo said, hello from Sweden. How you doing, mate? What do you... Netherlands, so you can't make the VTGT? I mean, that is an excuse. You can definitely get over it, I reckon. Some sunny Blackpool, evening from Sussex, Stephen. In your opinion, what is the best non-Space Marine shooty army in the game and why? Probably Tau. Yeah, they're just so durable. Like, yeah. In the hands of the right player, Tau are disgusting. So absolutely Tau, yeah. And then probably... close second, maybe a Mech Eldar list with planes, fire prisms, night spinners. They put out some punch in the combat, in the shooting phase anyway. Sunny Blackpool from Dan, how you doing? John, I just played my first game of 40k in like 8 years. Well done, John. Quality. Knights versus Death Guard. I took the win, but most importantly, we had way too much fun. How much better is the ITC missions compared to the books? It's just different. Is it better? You know, that's a matter of an opinion. I prefer the ITC because I like a fixed 6 game turn. I like to know the secondaries that I can focus on rather than Maelstrom cards. The deck building is a little bit better though, for sure. I like that there's multiple ways to score in the ITC. I'm a very sort of analytical guy, so knowing how many points I'm playing for, how many points I can deny my opponent, that's really what excites me. So I prefer an ITC game, but that being said, I've always enjoyed all the missions we've played, you know, book missions or whatever, so yeah. Any advice going on against Farsight Enclave Crisis Bomb with your Blood Angel list? So the Farsight Enclave is an interesting one, but you just need to zone that out really as best as you can with Scouts, Sanguinary Guard, and yeah, once you've zoned that out, it can hit one unit, but then obviously depending on how much is in Deep Strike, if it's only a little bit, I probably wouldn't even bother. I'd still just hide, let it come down, and counterpunch really. So I wouldn't be worried too much about that, and it depends on the loadout of the guns. You know, if they've gone like the multi-shots, then your 2-up armor is going to be fine on the Sanguinary Guard. If they've gone for something a bit nastier, then with lots of AP minuses, it's going to be a bit of a different problem, like the Plasma, different scenario altogether. So, but you put Transhuman on a unit, and that's going to massively downplay their firepower. Jack said Netherlands, so I don't know if I can make it yet. Any predictions on the big Saturday reveal? Saw something today which made my group think of Grey Knights. That's interesting. Yeah, we're going to be doing a review tomorrow, so we'll check that out at 6. Myself and Jack, hopefully, if we can we can do some testing tomorrow to make sure that he can do that from where he's at. What do you think about first when trying to fine tune a list? Well, I mean that's kind of two different questions really. So. You know, am I fine-tuning or am I thinking first about a list design? They're two different questions completely. So what am I first thinking about in terms of a list? I'm trying to build it around a concept, okay? So do I want to, you know, build like myself and Jack are working on the module at the moment, the theory side, then I'll do the recording next week. Or in 2 weeks' time for the next module, which is going to be coming up down the line, which is all about play styles. So there's 4 main play styles. You've got an alpha strike list, you've got a counter strike list, you've got a kill denial list, and then you've got a board control list. So I'm going to pick one of those sort of play styles, and I'm going to basically adjust things as needed for that. So that's going to be typically what I'm going to do. If I'm fine-tuning, then I'm just constantly looking at, like with the Harlequins I played today, got another playtest game in. We played against Jack's Orcs. And yeah, the fine-tuning is, okay, well, do I need the Solitaire? What does he give me? Versus what am I losing by having him in the list? You know, I'm stressing every single aspect of the list. We're throwing it into a hard matchup. So Jack used the burner bombers today, and they were brutal. They absolutely destroyed my army. So Harlequins do not like mortal wounds, it turns out. But yeah, it was against a case of stress testing. I did just get the win. It was such a close game between me and Jack. I literally had, at the end of the game, I had one model left. Yeah, I had one troop man left. Couldn't believe it. And Jack had, I think, he had 3 kilocans left and 5 orc boys left. That's how brutal the game was. And I think he had 2 of the weird boys. So yeah, very brutal game. But yeah. Scott said, when playing Tyranids for a bit, started working on the Sisters, still in the building stage. Should I go Bloody Rose or Valerius Heart or Battalion of each? Scott, you go, like I said, you go all in on that list build. So you're going to go, all, my opinion, all in on Bloody Rose. Yeah, so all the combat units. Love it. Repentia, Zephyrephorins, Mortifiers, Celestine, Priests, Arcoflagellants, all Bloody Rose, get in combat, and that's what you're hitting where it hurts, and that's that. If not, then you go completely the opposite way and go for a complete gun line, and you go for maybe Valerius Heart instead. Okay, so the newbie, the Grey. I'm having a hard time stripping the paint and blood for the blood god off my knight and help. Can you offer been soaking mean green for 3 weeks, scrubbing every 2 days with a toothbrush? I would just give up. Put it to one side, move on. Honestly, I don't really like stripping, so I'd probably just sell it, get whatever money I can for it, and then move on, basically. Otherwise, you're going to put loads of time and effort into it, and yes, it's going to cost you some money to buy another one, but you're going to kill your passion for it, I think, by the time, and you're still not going to be happy with it anyway at the end result. Archie Reptiles is from Plymouth. Brian said with Wisconsin, there's no N. Wisconsin? I don't know, something like that. I'm sorry, I'm not good at enunciating. Chris has said, hi mate, from London, literally just started playing on TTS. One game with Space Wolves. What's some basic tactical considerations I should have in my head when making a list? Chris, so it's all about, like I said, I think I've kind of covered that already. Have a list building my idea, but Chris, if you want some advice, jump on the academy. You are going to learn so much. We're getting so many new people join the academy who have literally just started 40k, and now is a great time to sort of soak up all that content. There's new modules all the time just by joining, and even if you join for free, and the link is below, because you get a 2-week free trial. Then basically you get access to 7 20-minute videos straight from the get-go. Then at week 3 you get another 8 videos, so you're going to get like 15 videos straight away within the first 3 weeks of being on the course. If you want the full access, you want to pay for the course up front, you get the full access with me, one-to-one call with me on the VIP pass. You can do that as of the 1st of June, so that's coming around the corner. It's going on pre-sale at the moment, so there's already 3 people on the waiting list, and it will be first come, first serve. And if you type in, let me just get, I just don't know, I've put that in, Stephen at Vanguard. Shoot me an email, just say I want to get on that VIP, the acceleration. You also get 2 months paid for free as well. So you save $80 by paying for it up front, and you can cherry pick which modules you do. You don't have to wait at all. There's no time delays on anything. You just get the full access straight away. Matt, Jacob's from Devon. Yeah, hi. So Kev, it's Manchester, moved up recently from Southampton. Expect more rain, to be honest. Yeah. Proxian, more to that question. Plague Bearers, can I use AOS units as them? Does armor matter? Does painting matter? What would you consider as a Plague Bearer proxy? So for me, if you're going to be running Plague Bearers, you probably have to run Plague Bearers, the Demon Plague Bearers. Yeah. You can't really use much else as them, I don't think. I can't really think of a model that would be appropriate. Otherwise, it'd be on a different size base. You'd have to, and yes, you do need to paint it as well. You need, probably about 5 colours really to put on the tabletop. Or colours, shades, dry brushes, picking out some details, bit of rust on them, whatever on the weapons. Alexandria said, hi from Moscow, Russia. How you doing? How does Gifts from Mechanicus, Stratagem from Psychic Awakening, the Greater Good works? I'm not sure. Let's have a little look at here. Use this stratagem in your shooting phase when a 13 RD Lombardi Lines unit from your army is chosen to shoot with until the end of that phase. I'm not sure what that means, if I'm honest. When resolving an attack made with a hotshot lasgun by a model in that unit, a modified wound roll of a 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target and the attack sequence ends. Yeah, so if you roll a 6, you just do a mortal wound. You don't carry on doing any damage, basically. But because each shot would be different, you would do that still. If you're fast dice rolling, you just roll those 10 times, because what should happen is you roll each of those dice one by one. Spud Unit, you look a bit knackered today, chap. Are you having a rest between work, Warhammer and streams? Nope, we are going straight through. So I started work today, left my house at 7:30, so yeah, and like yesterday I was up until good 10 o'clock, getting some painting done. I've been painting some Ultramarines, and this Ultramarine is probably the best Ultramarine I've ever painted. Really taken some time with this guy. So yeah, it's really hot in the studio. We need to get some fans in here. So it's a really, really hot day today. I shouldn't be wearing a long sleeve t-shirt. That was an error. And also the fans, we can't use obviously when I'm streaming to you guys, because you just hear a fan all the time. So need to get some bigger fans for this place to cool it down. But very, very hot today. It's very, very hot outside. So yeah, combination of a few things really. But I must admit, I do work a lot of hours. Yeah, I do like probably 10 hours a day at least. And I probably work 6 days a week on average a year. So yeah, I easily do probably 60-hour weeks. But that's kind of, it's just part of the process. You know, I'm still doing my nutrition coaching job. I do that on a Wednesday, and then obviously, you know, I'm building Vanguard Tactics. You know, no business when you're trying to get it off the ground is going to happen in a normal working week. You need to put those extra hours in. So, you know, I wouldn't be sat here with a, you know, incredible looking studio if unfortunately I didn't put those hours in. But then hopefully, as things come into fruition, then, you know, I'll be able to bring people on to help me, and then I'll be able to take days off, take some holiday, and I'll get the sort of the lifestyle, that lifestyle balance a little bit later on, hopefully, fingers crossed. Because lifestyle balance is important, but while I'm fit and capable, I'm pushing on, you know. Again, what I spoke about yesterday, I've got my goal, I know the process, I need to get to that goal, and right now I'm just putting as many steps in as I possibly can. But I am taking the weekend off. I probably will do the lives, but I'm taking the weekend off because I need a bit of chill out time this weekend. Have you got any tips for making Lamentar's Blood Angels army around Malakam Fororos? So you're probably looking at a gunline army with him because you get reroll wounds and he's pretty slow, which then doesn't really play into the... I looked at him, but I still think reroll wounds to, you know, in a shooting phase is good, or even in combat, but you don't need it in combat. +1 to wound is good enough. +1 strength from a priest is good enough. So you don't need him for that. Yeah? Otherwise you would just go Blood Angels. If you want him to work, it's in a gun line, but then none of your buffs help. I think you just be better off running Iron Hands or something if you want a gunline army, if that's your playstyle you want to go for. Highland Phoenix, would the inclusion of some Haywire help out your Harlequin list? No. If I put Harlequin Haywire into my list, I would lose the list build. Okay? It would completely throw it off. So, no. But sometimes you can put a list together that's so balanced, it does nothing. So my list does something, and I just need to learn how to play the hard matchups. Like my list is a real swing list. It'll do really well in games and it'll do really badly. So I need to work really hard where I do really badly to make sure I can sort of outplay my opponent, basically. Rely on my skills rather than the list. Jack said, if I make the VTGT, it will be my first game ever. Still building my first army just before lockdown. Jack, that would be quality. Well, that would be absolutely amazing if you listen to this and then you come down for your first ever. That would be amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Pac-Man 184, what's the BA answer to something as resilient as Iron Hands Centurions? Getting countercharged and losing all your DC or Vanguard after failing to kill the unit feels bad. Well, don't fail it, mate. Do not fail to keep that first unit. Only go in when you know you can't get countercharged, okay? So you pick out that countercharge unit, you kill it, you take it down. If you need to fight twice, that's what you got to do, but you take out those Centurions, or you play around them and just say, okay, cool, you can stay at the back of the board, move 4 inches a turn. What are they going to do? Nothing. So actually, Iron Hands, I'll be honest, the reason why I started playing Blood Angels, because it was a really hard counter to Iron Hands. I don't think I've ever lost a game against Iron Hands with my Blood Angels. Don't think so. No, I lost it once, and that was against Vic. And terrain wasn't great. I was knackered. Vic played extremely well, and he had the unkillable Leviathan at the time. So yeah, I'm not taking that away because he played really, really well, and I did not. But apart from that, yeah, Blood Angels do very well, especially now since the nerf. Yeah. Archie Reptiles, definitely worth joining the mentorship as a beginner. I've learned so much already and it still has loads of more to go through. Yeah, so the mentorship is now called the Academy. It used to be called the mentorship, so just in case there's any confusion, it's the Academy. Mentorship is the same thing, but we've just renamed it to the Academy. Don't know how long I'll be playing, to be honest, since I've was a wee teenager, but Dota dedicated, been loving able to get back into game more time from TTS. 48 watching and only 9 thumbs up. Can we do better? Yeah, guys, come on, give me some thumbs up. That would be great. Yeah. Halsey said get some aircon. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. Yeah, I'll speak to the guys here at Foreground, see if we can get some aircon. What do you make of White Scar's list with 6 impulses, 6 units of intercessors? I don't like it personally. That's my personal thought. I don't like that sort of playlist. It's just a bit meh. Like, I don't really like Wave Serpent spam either. Similar sort of thing. Don't really like it. Luke said, how will the Harlequins deal with the flyer spam? I lose, so I don't deal with it, pretty much. I lose that game. Or what I can do is maybe, like, move into position so they auto blow themselves up. Yeah. I got ways to get around it, but it's not easy. Play the objectives, absolutely. Or I just table my opponents so I no boots them. And if they can't kill me quick enough, then I'll destroy their whole army. Yeah. And I just leave the planes alone. Yeah, if you hit the like button, then more people are going to be finding the stream, find our battle reports that are coming out. So that'll be wicked. Really appreciate that. So I'll answer one more question. What are your top 3 KG ITC secondaries for Blood Angels? So I really like Ground Control. I really like King of the Hill. And I like the Postman. Yeah, they're my 3 KG ones. So anyway, guys, all Born to be a Legend. Yeah, it's good as you kill one. Right, guys, I'm going to leave that there. So again, appreciate you guys jumping on. I'll see you tomorrow at 6. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, see you then.